Welcome to this second part of painting Hexwraith. In the first part we got to this stage. And the last thing we did was painting all the bone with this one, Untitled Oxide. And it has been given plenty of time to dry. And I was realizing that I was actually doing a minor error because I wanted to give the armor and the wood and the leather some Untitled Oxide as well. But before I'm going to do that, I will give it a real shade with non-oil and aggressive shade. So I might have to do the step again, but we will find out. The first thing we are going to do is give all the metal parts a shade, non-oil gloss. And the reason for giving it gloss is that it can be a bit dull to look at ordinary null. It won't be as glossy, so good thing that we have this gloss version. And what we're doing will be to give all the metals this black wash shade, sorry. Yeah. And in case you accidentally painted on the ropes this silver, then the gloss, the shade will hide it, so you can cover up your small minor mistakes. But I will continue with giving it shade, as you can see on the shoulder and on the chain. And I might be forced to do some highlights on the white after this has dried up. But I will continue and let it dry, and I will come back once it's dry. So all the metal parts have been given a wash with non-oil gloss. And now I'm going to give all the cloth on the horse and on the rider itself the non-gloss version of non-oil, and I'm going to apply it in a way so we can see all the cracks and crevices on the cloth. Sorry. Yeah, and I'm going to let it dry for, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes, and I'm going to clean up all the white afterwards, because I can almost guarantee you that the shade will at some point come up on the white flames, so I have to clean that up. But I will give this model the non-oil shade, and I will clean up the white, and I will come back once it's done. So the cloth on the man and the horse has been given a dark wash with non-oil. So now I'm going to touch it up again using Incubate Darkness again, leaving all the darkest areas unpainted, so it will have a vague shade effect. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint close to everything up again. Let me see if I can elaborate a bit. As you can see here, like this one, I'm going to paint like this. I'm going to paint everything, but only kind of like the very dark shade in there, and maybe in between here. That's what I'm going to leave unpainted. Everything else will be painted up again. And it's going to be a very vague shadow that's going to be there, but it will be sufficient. So I will continue this, and I will come back once it's done. So the it's a bit hard to see, but the cloth has been repainted with Incubi Darkness, except for those parts. So now I'm going to highlight it a bit like, oh, not a bit, but almost like the Warhammer TV's guide on painting Nagash's clothes. First thing is I'm going to do is I'm going to paint edge highlight on all the cloth, and I'm also going to paint the absolute highest areas of the cloth. And the way I'm going to do it is by using the edge of the brush. I don't know if it's visible, but like this. And this creates this effect. And also I'm going to paint if there are any sharp edges on the cloth, and on the holes itself I'm also going to paint. Can you see this? I'm also going to paint the side around the hole like this. Okay. So I'm going to do this on the all the cloth down here, on the on his coat as well, and I will come back once it is done. So with this ladies green edge highlight on all the clothes, as you can see, I will do yet another edge highlight, but this edge highlight will only be applied on the sharpest edges, and for that I'm going to use the separate green. And the way that I'm applying it is like there. and it's going to be applied in this way all the way around. As you can see, I'm only touching the very edges of I just want to emphasize one of the sharpest edges of the cloth. Like this. And as you can see, I'm just highlighting the raised parts. So I will continue doing this until the entire green edge has been highlighted, and I will come back once it's done. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give the edges right there in the corners of the cloth very small white tint to it. So I'll try something like, let's see if I can do something like this. And this is very important that you only use a very small amount, like this. And if you get too much on it, you can gently try to rub it off. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's only just on the very edge of the corners. So, and again, if you need to touch up some of the flames, now is the time. Like, I don't know if you can see it, this little area, and on the helmet, and these holes in the helmet. So I'm going to do this, and I will come back once it is done. So as you can see, some of the edges of the cloth has been touched with a small amount of white. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to paint all the flames, and I will use the same recipe as the one Warhammer TV did for the warp flame. So it needs to be painted white, and then you're going to give it a Rewatch green glaze, but you will keep the bottom of the flame white, and it's very, very important. So kind of what I want to do is something similar to, I hope this brush, the shape brush isn't too big, but what we need to do is we're going to paint it like maybe it needs a bit, just a tad more. So I'm gonna continue and I will come back once this is done. So after 2 layers of giving the flames Waywatcher green, and again I was sorry, I'm just fumbling around here. I was a bit careful not to go all the way down and leaving a little bit of white on the edges of the flame, on the beginning of the flames, all the way down at the bottom. But about 1/4 of I'll begin to apply the Waywatcher. But I want to drag the white a little bit of the flames on the raised areas of the flames. I'm not fully aware if you can see it, but as you can see at my thumb, I want to tighten up the white a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently stretch the white a bit. Doing it a bit like this, not much, just very gently. Yeah. And the same on the top. I'm just going to stretch. I'll repaint the white a bit. Like this. And as you can see, the transition from white to green is already a bit better, and I'm going to do that all the way around the miniature, and I will come back once it's done. So as you might can see, I have touched up the white a bit and kind of stretched it into the green area, so it looks a bit more, so the transition is better. And I got some green on the chain, shame on me, but nevertheless I'm going to take or paint the tip of the flames about 1/3 from the top with the mood green, and the way I'm doing it is that I'm going to so I have touched up the white a bit and stretched the white of the flames a bit into the to the green area, as you can see, or maybe you can see it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some mood green on the tip of the flames and about 1/3 into the flames, and I'm going to do that on all the flames, kind of like this. And it's not much, it's just a little touch of mood green to emphasize strengthen the green. And I'm going to do that on the top flame, on the skulls, and on the weapon. And I'm going to come back once it's done. So the mood green is done. And on the very tip of the flames, I'm going to apply some thin down Caliban green. I'm going to thin it down approximately 1:1 with water. And I'm just going to apply it on the very tip of the flame. So it's going to be something similar to this. And when you have multiple layer of flames, then I personally think that it looks cool if you kind of spread out some of the dark flames, because when you look at flames, it's the most cool areas of the flame that's dark, and sometimes this dark could be like, for example, here on the top of the flame. So something along those lines. On the top, I'm going to, of course, apply it to the tip, but I'm also stretching it out a bit onto the top level of the smoke, like this. So it's going to be something similar to this, and I'm going to continue with this, and I will come back once it is done. So the next thing that we are going to do is that I'm going to touch up all the metal parts. I'm going to touch it up with Stormhold Silver to give it a bit more spark. And what I'm aiming to do is to gently, are we in focus? Yeah. To gently touch up the metal on the chain. And on some of the areas you can do it more quick by using the side of the brush, like this. See, the chain is way more visible and natural now on this point than on this side, but on this side. And I'm going to do the same with the bristle, I think it's called, the horse. Just going to touch it up so it won't be as dark. And on the scythe I'm going to do the same, but I will leave the darkest areas of the scythe like this. And on the chain as well, and the ball, and the shoulder pad, on the helmet, and on the metal of the horse, of course. So I will continue, and I will come back once this is done. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to touch up all the metal with the 50-50 mix of lilac oxide and lamine medium. And it's going to be applied very subtle. So as you can see here on the horse's metal plate, it's barely visible. You just add this vague ghostly look to it. I don't know if you can see it, this side compared to this side. It's not even really visible for the camera, but it's a very vague layer, and we might apply 2 layers. So I will do this on the entire middle part and come back once it's done. So as you can see, I have applied the mixture of the 50-50 mix of lilac oxide and lamine medium to all the metal, and as you can see, there's a vague tint of bluish on the head. And I'm going to do the same with the wood and leather, and it's just going to be applied in the same fashion, where it's kind of visible without really being it. And on the wooden staff, it's also giving a tint of the not turquoise, what is it? Very light blue, the lilac oxide or whatever it's called. Like this. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fix the base. So I think I will do that, and I will come back once it is done. So this is the final result on the Hexwraith. I'm fairly satisfied with it. I might in future think of one way to kind of highlight the lilac oxide color a bit, maybe with a touch of white or something, but I'm not completely sure kind of how to do it. But this is the result, and they are, I think they are pretty decent, pretty okay. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Thank you.